It's not an easy thing to admit, but I cheated with my wife. With her. Like, normally I go out of my way, you guys, to not experience the product before I get to unbox it. But I was buying my wife a phone earlier today, and the Samsung rep was there at the store setting up the demo for the Galaxy Z Fold 8, and I cheated. I got just a little bit of hands-on with it, just a little bit, just a touch. And right out of the gate, I can see why there is a lot of hype for this phone. And it starts right here. Every other foldable, is that it? No accessories? Hold on, no, we found it. USB 2 Type-C cable, hey, that's good for third-party cable sellers, lttstore.com. SIM removal tool, I mean, that's nice. I still get a SIM tray, and that's about it. All right. Just about every other folding phone has had the same darn problem. And that is that if what you're after is content consumption, okay? I wanna watch videos on YouTube, like this beautiful 8K Yule log, for instance. I go ahead, I open up my content, I go, you know what? That's too small. I watch it on here and I go, that's really not that much bigger. And rotating it, frankly, doesn't really help. I mean, anyone got an iPhone on hand? Okay, what am I looking at? Okay, this is the regular old iPhone, right? Regular old iPhone. Okay, check this out, okay? That is not that much bigger, you guys. And sure, yeah, it's bigger. But again, it's not that much bigger. Well, the Z Fold 8 solves all of that with a 10:16 aspect ratio cover screen at 5.5 inches, so a little larger than an iPhone mini, but a different aspect ratio that's gonna make one-handed typing still a bit of a challenge, and a glorious inner screen that is going to give you a way better content consumption experience. It's 7.6 inches at a 4:3 aspect ratio. So when you look at how gigantic my bars are here, I'm missing out on nothing. Boom. Ever so slightly larger image, much smaller black bars, smaller overall package. Who says good things don't come in small packages? And we get a 3000 nit peak brightness screen that has like a titanium reinforcement jobby going on, and that may be the least noticeable fold yet. Wow. I'm gonna turn the brightness way down so we can actually get a, wow, even compared to the 7, which was already pretty good, although it is worth noting that they tend to wear out a little bit, and mine's not as new as it once was. But like, oh, that is a big difference. Huh, impressive. Oh wow, really impressive minimum brightness too. Can you even tell this phone is on? Because it totally is. What else is there to say about it? Why don't we do our exterior tour? We've got dual 50 megapixel cameras, USB 3 Type-C charging, obviously noise canceling microphones, a lock button with a fingerprint sensor, volume rocker, SIM tray, and I assume, oh yeah, nice, we get stereo speakers. Also, we get an interruption from my favorite sponsor, dbrand. Oh, good. Wow, this is one step above writing it in crayon, dbrand. I don't even need to look at it. Something insult. dbrand is great, Linus is too short, ha ha ha, buy our overpriced shit. dbrand wants the record to show that I, Linus G. Sebastian, was originally meant to host the Fold 8 Ultra video. When they heard this, dbrand insisted that I, quote, host the video for the shorter phone instead. This is, of course, because the phone better matches my stature, thanks dbrand. Here's a screen protector that is actually legitimately very easy to put on. Just in case you screw it up, they ship you a second one, which, by the way, I had to use when I put on my daughters recently. And we've also got a grip case. I'm not reading that teleprompter. That's gonna be our new rule. dbrand has to choose. They can have scripted talking points for their read, or they can take the piss. Pick one, dbrand. This is not bad, actually. As far as foldable cases go, this new grip is very nice. Obviously, it's got a spot to put one of their trademark overpriced stickers. We've got one of their Circuit ones that was actually a collaborative product between us and them. Nice little sticker to fill in the gap over by the camera bump. And then, hey, look at that, that's nice. They include an extra set of adhesive just in case you have some trouble with the one that's pre-installed on the front piece here. So once it's all on, you get 360-degree protection, all on a phone that has a freaking hinge on it, which is legitimately a real challenge. Good job, dbrand, you guys are actually getting better at this. Get one for yourself over at shortlinus.com. Okay, I am gonna have to take this off though because people wanna see the naked phone. They're perverts like that. let's talk specs. Samsung somehow managed to put a 4,800 milliamp hour battery in here, and I gotta say, daily driving the Fold 7 over the last, it's probably been about 6-8 months. I have been so impressed by the battery life on this thing, in spite of the fact that it's thinner than any of their previous folding phones. And I gotta assume that they're gonna go ahead and keep that up. So if you're worried that by going for a folding phone, you're gonna be compromising on battery, I would say you can pretty much put that to rest at this point. There are going to be some compromises. Of course, while there's Gorilla Glass 3 ceramic over on the front, you're going to be dealing with less durability on the middle, which, by the way, back to the phone shopping with my wife, was a concern for her because sure, you shouldn't ever have it in a situation where the middle screen is exposed to the elements. But she's like, yeah, I mean, when I'm like getting out of my car and I'm like looking at my schedule or whatever, I drop it. Stuff happens. Really does happen to her a lot. It's funny that I'm the one with the reputation for dropping things. To its credit though, it comes with a really nice anti-reflective coating that maybe isn't quite on par with what you'll get on an S Series Ultra, but is pretty darn anti-reflective. It's a very, very comfortable, usable screen. And there's lots else to like about this thing. The new smaller design means that it is the lightest fold at 201 grams. They now support multitasking with up to 3 apps, side by side by side, if one Subway Surfers isn't enough for you. I'm a big fan of having a capacitive fingerprint scanner in the button rather than under the screen. It's something that's been very refreshing going to the Fold 7, and that makes a return here. Freaking love to see it. And it's the first phone with Gemini intelligence and running Google's Gemini Nano 4 model. This requires a flagship chip with 12 gigs of RAM or more, which the Fold 8 comfortably meets with a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy alongside an Adreno 840 GPU. Somehow, they managed to keep reasonable water resistance. We're talking IP48, so hopefully I wouldn't have a repeat of that one disastrous time that I went swimming with my Fold and Dan had to restore it for me. And there's just one small problem. After all the really positive things that I just said, actually 2 small problems. One is the price. It starts at $1,900 US for the 256 gig version and goes up to $2,500 for the 1 terabyte. But there's one other problem. This idea has been tried before. Everybody hated it. It was a total commercial failure. And the reason is that as much as this really seems like a good idea, as someone who's been dailying a Fold off and on for over half a decade now, you use the cover screen a lot. One of the best things about the Fold 7, one of the biggest innovations with the Fold 7, is that I don't have to use this screen all the time. And this wider form factor is not popular for very good reasons. It's not great for typing. Let's try though, oh my God, my keyboard takes up half my screen. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And the nice thing about Android is that you can customize that. You go ahead and install a third-party keyboard. I'm a big fan of SwiftKey, and you go and you resize your keyboard. Yay, Android. But still, I mean, come on.
You could be a nice little Game Boy emulator.
I'm not spending $2,500 US on a Game Boy emulator, Brad. And that completely ignores the high percentage of our most used apps these days that are, for better or for worse, designed for vertical scrolling. And don't even tell me you're gonna do this. You are not gonna do this. With that said though, this is the smallest iPad mini, you know? If you are into the tablet experience, I might have just sold myself on it. I wasn't gonna daily this. I was actually really excited about Motorola's Fold, which I finally got my hands on like 2 days ago. And so I kind of had to pick this or that to daily. It's really light. This is so crazy. I was so convinced I had the conclusion until I held it like this, exactly like this. This is pretty cool. The aspect ratio is really tough and it's really expensive. Man, it's cool tech, you know? Can't wait for everyone to love it so huggy-muggy much once Apple puts it in an iPhone. But you know who actually developed it, right? Gotta give kudos to Samsung for that. You know, this is not bad either, actually. Anyway, it comes in lavender, cream, graphite, and Samsung exclusive pistachio. I mean, what do you mean Samsung exclusive? It's
you
their
can
phone.
only buy it from their store.
You can only buy it directly from, okay, whatever. Maybe I need to play around with the cameras to see how I feel about it. Hi there, selfie. I mean, yeah, it's a perfectly functional selfie camera. God, those braces, I can't wait to be rid of them. It's gonna be soon, I promise, guys. If you're tired of them, trust me, I'm every bit as tired of them as you are. Oh, well, that's interesting. This is the orientation of the camera. So if I'm taking pictures landscape and it's unfolded, I hold the phone portrait. Tray's interesting, and I actually see why they're doing that, because not everyone has moved to square sensors like Apple has on some of their cameras, which by the way is super cool. And I hold it landscape like this when it is landscape. Tray's interesting. Okay, let's see how the zoom is. I already mentioned they're both 50 megapixels, but one is a standard and one is an ultra wide. So this 2X is like a mostly digital 2X, and this is, yeah, not groundbreaking zoom quality. Don't expect the best camera. Whoa, the ultra wide is kinda ass. What? Wow, it's so noisy, dude. Actually, better detail retention than my old Fold 7, but a lot more noise. Fascinating. It seems like they're just doing less overall smoothing and processing on it, which honestly, I kind of support. I'd kind of rather clean this up later and at least have a cleaner starting point. Still, like these fingers look like they got Thanos snapped. They're like disappearing. Okay, you know what? I'm convinced to at least try it. I gotta give it a shot. Because even though there have been phones that have this squatter unfolding form factor, I have never daily driven one. So this is it. This is your one chance to win me over, form factor. And already I can see there's one thing that I'm not gonna like about it, because I often use my Fold as like a little, like I put it in like little watch TV stand mode. And, oh, wait, no, I could still do that. Okay, yeah. Actually, if anything, the tent might work a little bit better here. Yeah, that's probably a better aspect. I'm gonna get so much more usable screen like that. Okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. And you know what you should give a shot to? Subscribing to ShortCircuit. See you in the next one.